Have you been thinking about upgrading your current pickleball paddle, but you're not sure what to get or how to choose the best one? Then you're going to want to stick around because we've got some tips for you. Hey everybody, I'm CJ Johnson. Welcome to the Better Pickleball channel. We're all about helping players who are over 50 live their best lives on and off the pickleball courts. If you want to make sure you stay in the know, hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification. That way you'll never miss another video. Brandon Swanson recently joined me on one of this channel's monthly YouTube lives. Now, you may not recognize his name, but he owns over 140 paddles, and he's affectionately known as the Paddle Geek. He has some practical advice to helping you understand what goes into choosing your next pickleball paddle. By the way, I've taken Brandon's advice plus a few others who visited Better Pickleball in the past and put it into a paddle primer just for you. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video. During our live stream, Brent J asked this question. My game has improved to a 4.0 level and I'm looking for a more advanced paddle, if that exists. My first upgrade was a head paddle 2 years ago and I really like it. Now I'm looking for another upgrade. Any recommendations?
Kind of depends on what you're looking for. That's always where to start, I think, when you're looking for a new paddle is, okay, what do I like about the current paddle that I'm using and what don't I like? And what are you looking for? Are you looking for more power? Are you looking for a little bit different feel? Maybe some extra length? So those are kind of some of the starting questions that I would have about what you want to get from that upgraded paddle. Because, what you have is going to work fine. Like, they make okay paddles, and so it's just what are you looking for? I will say that something you can do is look at some of the modern trend seems to be, and not everyone, but a modern trend seems to be towards slightly longer paddles, whereas paddles used to be more in the 15.5-inch range. People can try out something in the 16.25 to 16.5-inch length, and it'll change the play of the paddle pretty dramatically. Like a couple examples of that would be this. Like this Gearbox paddle, a little bit longer handle, and then a longer length as well. And then, and the one I play with, which is the Players Pickleball Rogue 2, has even more of like a teardrop shape. So this one is really, for me, I love to drive the ball with this paddle, and I like hitting hard volleys with it. And so I would say these are a little bit trickier for. These might be what he's considering, like an advanced paddle would be something where the sweet spot will move farther away from your hand. You lose a little bit of control, but you do gain power, like on serves, drives, and volleys. One other one would be like this Temper Ascend. This is another one by Temper, and I really, really like this shape. It's similar to my Rogue 2, actually, where it's sort of a teardrop shape. Pretty aerodynamic for swinging through. So.
Now that you've created your list, it's time to try some paddles. That prompted a question from our chat moderator and avid pickleball player, Dale K. She wanted to know, what do you do when you have limited time to try a paddle? How do you pick the best one for you quickly?
My recommendation would be really don't try too hard to like a paddle. If you're trying something out, first things first, grab the paddle. If you don't like the grip on it, sometimes you can change the grip, but some paddles like have more of a square shaped grip, and I don't like that. And so I'll grab those paddles and be like, nope, ain't gonna be nothing I can do about that. And so that's kind of just out. There's so many good paddles in terms of how they play at this point that you can be that picky. So if you just hate the handle shape or something, just put it back. Nope, that's not it. And so we didn't really talk about that too much. We can if people want to, but we're maybe a different time. So that'd be where I'd start. Do you like the feel of it in your hand? Because that is your one point of contact with the paddle. I mean, that's everything. So start there. If you don't like that, put it back. If it's good, then start playing with it. But like I said, don't try too hard to like it. Either I'm more of a proponent at this point of just, you got to kind of fall in love at first feel, so to speak, with a paddle. I don't know that you necessarily need a super long window of time. If you like the feel of it, um, then you like the feel of it. Either you do or you don't. The one time that I think that it takes longer to transition is if you want to go to a longer paddle. If you want to try a longer shaped paddle, that's when you need a longer window to adjust because you need it in your muscle memory where the sweet spot is because you're going to move the sweet spot out from your hand like I showed you before, with a standard shape, like 15.5 inch length paddle, it's closer to your hand. And so when you switch to that longer paddle, you're going to be still hitting in the same spot, but now it's lower in the paddle where the sweet spot isn't. It's more you'd be hitting more, like before you were hitting here in your old paddle, now you're hitting in the new paddle, you're hitting down here where you don't want to be striking. And so sometimes that can be worth the transition to. I eventually decided that the transition for me from a shorter paddle, even though it's more maneuverable and maybe I have a tiny bit more control on blocking situations, the extra power that I got in other scenarios was worth it to me. So that would be the time when you'd need longer with a paddle, and it would be. But other than that, that's my recommendation. You have a short window. Um, just write it off. If you don't like the feel of it in your hand, then it's out. If you don't like the sound it makes, it's out. Like you can be embrace your idiosyncrasy. Did I say that word right? Um, and just be you. Like there's no wrong choice. It's all up to you, and it's your decision. So fall in love at first feel. I'll sum it up with that little mantra.
Click right here to get your free paddle primer. And then check out these videos for more information on how to pick the best paddle for you. If you got value from this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with your pickleball playing friends. Because together, we can train smart, live bold, and age well.